conversation of tax credits and taxes is a good segue to our next question. During the last legislative session, the state legislature had the very difficult task of addressing a very difficult budget. And one of the solutions that they arrived at was eliminating various tax credits and exemptions. And certainly from NCLA's perspective, we believe that it was harmful to the business community and to our economic recovery. What is your position to change that environment in terms of the appeal of tax credits? And would you support or veto any similar legislation in the future? And we'll start with Mr. Maes.
Thank you. I want you to know that I actually took the time to go down and sit at some of those hearings. One in particular was the sales tax on internet sales. And the arrogance that I saw in that Democratic chairman as he was running that, scolding a small business person who was trying to create revenue and taxes, running a business out of their home, disturbed me greatly. I believe we've got legislators sitting ready to go to reverse all of these tax initiatives that were reversed. So let's get those undone, and then we need to start working on eliminating other taxes that are onerous on business.
Mr. Tancredo?
Yeah, I agree entirely that if you want to encourage growth in Colorado, if you want to encourage growth in the United States of America, you do it by reducing taxes, especially on businesses, because that's where jobs are created. It's not through stimulus packages. It's not through even providing ways for corporations or small businesses to get financed through the government. I do want to read the quote I mentioned earlier. This is it. Okay. This is the quote. In bipartisan Denver, we get taxed. In Milwaukee, we get a rebate. Between tax issues and facility issues, it's probably not a fair fight. Our message to political leaders: taxes matter.
Thank you. Mr.
I have to remember to get myself all in my pocket. And so I quote the letter that he said once he got the facts from his negotiating team and realized that we had reduced all the use tax and they weren't being charged for anything, which he really admits. But I will move on. I think the issues around tax credits and exemptions, I think we probably all agree we want to restore those as fast as humanly possible. You want to, in a difficult economy, make sure that you're not, even though you're trying to find revenues everywhere you can, you're not going out there and harming those places where you're going to create jobs and new revenues through income tax or additional property tax. As someone who's been a small business person, who's been out there, I've started about 15, I think 16 different restaurants, both in Colorado and other places. I've dealt with bureaucracy and I've dealt with increased, taxes and the little ones that come up and you're trying to make a decision on whether to hire that next person, whether to expand in a specific direction. They do make a difference, right? They're not all of the equation. They are a significant part of it. And I think we as the state, as part of that attitude shift to become pro-business, have to recognize that we do have to find the revenues for our transportation system, right? Make sure our roads are functional, make sure that we have an education system that will, we're not going to attract any young entrepreneurs or small businesses to move to our state if we don't have an education system that works. But that being said, we've got to find those revenues without diminishing the capacity of our business community to create jobs.
Now let me clarify how the rebuttals work. Each candidate does have 30 seconds to respond to anything that they may have heard on the stage. We prefer that there's not a rebuttal to rebuttal, but that you do have the opportunity to rebut those things that you've heard, just justification. So, anyone wish to rebut anything they've heard? No? Moving on.